Number 6. During shooting, director Eggers was afraid that the film was going to be too funny, in quotes, because Robert Pattinson and William Dafoe are naturals at comedy and are very funny in real life. Eggers then used the music score and post-production to keep the tone dark enough. Yeah, comes in is so pivotal to this movie, I guess, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene in the next film we'll talk about where this character is, shuffling their shoulders like a BG, and they're just doing it. And if he didn't have the music and he didn't have the demonic element in there, it's going to be pretty funny.
Yeah, I feel like without the very serious music, this film would come off as a comedy.
Yeah.
In fact, you could easily recut this movie as a comedy.
Dude, there were times where we're laughing and we're like, these performances are amazing. Like, this is awesome.
And the funny thing is like, I feel like it actually doesn't take away from the film.
No. Yeah, it doesn't.
As it seems like the director feared it might.
Yeah.
I think it just adds depth.
I think, because
adds depth.
Yeah.
Life is kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like humor and sadness often have to sort of like coexist in weird ways in the course of our lives, just because humans are interesting creatures like that. And so having this be a very dark, serious movie, but having just things that make you laugh out loud because of how bizarre they are, like, it really makes it almost like it brings a real life sort of element to it.
Yeah, and such a foreboding, miserable movie as you're watching it. In terms of the tone, I should say, the dark tone. Any hint of comedy is such a relief as you're watching this. And especially for the average moviegoer. Like, I would not recommend this for the average moviegoer. But there's so much talent behind this film that it's kind of hard not to appreciate it, in my opinion. So
yeah, this is definitely a film for people who like movies.
Yeah.
Like, really like movies. Yeah. Like,
you were joking that, we should, Holly was here with Chelsea yesterday, we were watching a film, and you're like, oh, Holly, you should watch The Lighthouse. We were at church yesterday, and I was like, oh God, we got to go watch The Lighthouse for the podcast. And they're like, what's The Lighthouse? And David's like, you guys want to find out? I was like, no, please, for the love of God. These poor women, don't subject them to The Lighthouse.
Well,
don't subject your significant other, especially out there. If you got somebody, don't subject them to this. Don't subject your lady friend to this, please.
I find that this movie, I think, is actually less objectionable than some out there, specifically because of the story you told me in the trivia. I don't know if you.
Oh yeah. We're
trivia.
not. I don't want to say it on the pot. You can say it through innuendo if you want, but
yeah, basically. I thought that was so funny, and honestly, it makes this film less off-putting than it would have been.
Yeah.
Because basically what happened is, so this film was produced by A24, and, so Robert Eggers had to kind of work within their constraints, and he wanted to shoot this, in black and white, and, do the things that the way it was done, and A24 is like, well, if you do that, you can't have any, there can't be any like frontal male nudity, because that's a feature of certain other Robert Eggers films.
Yep.
So
here's the deal, Robert. You can have the frontal if you want, but you can't have the black and white.
Yeah, so in order for... Yeah, it's really funny.
It's really hilarious.
It's crazy how that's the deal that they had to work out. Yeah. But yeah, in order for Robert Eggers to...
get the black and white.
To do the film the way he wanted it to be done, basically, like, he had to forgo the full frontal male nudity, which is a feature of his other films.
Yes!
So it's like, I feel like because of that, this is... way less offensive than it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like subjecting someone who's not like a super movie buff to this, like at the very least they're not going to have to be subjected to to like front and center dong shots, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the very least.
At the very least.
He doesn't go as far as he could have.
He could have gone way further. And that whole story feels like, just the parent being like, all right, Billy, you can have this, but you can't have this. It's like, Robbie's like, okay, I'll take what I can get.
And I feel like film directors kind of need their more excessive elements reined in too.
Yes, that's the full reason there are producers in the first place.
Yeah, like George Lucas, I think is the perfect example of this. By all accounts, his first original cut of Star Wars, like A New Hope, was
horrible,
nigh unwatchable, and at the very last minute, his now ex-wife came in and led the team that re-edited the film completely into what we know and love today. And also, all throughout the filming of the original trilogy, the prequel trilogy is a different story, but throughout the filming of the original trilogy, George Lucas had to work within the constraints of the studio system. And knowing how the prequels turned out, I think the original trilogy is much better for it.
And he didn't direct Empire or Jedi, I believe, right? He wrote both of them.
Yeah, I don't think
him and Caston wrote.
Yeah, I don't think he directed either.
Because Empire was. Also, there's a science fiction writer who helped with Empire, who it's like the fans speculate whether it's mostly her idea of some of the stuff in there or it's Lucas's idea. Because it was like she wrote it with Lucas or had a draft of it, and then Lucas had it, and then she passed away. And I can't. That's like how the tale goes, or something like that. And then fans speculate for years because it's renowned as the best Star Wars piece of product ever. So it's like, was it her idea? Was it not? I don't know. There's a lot of elements to it, but that's one reason why we have producers, and good producers will do that. They will rein in and say, "Hey, no, this is a little too far." And trust me, I love it when artists go full, no, not full frontal, but when they go full like creative mode and they're willing to do, and they're able to do what they want. But it's kind of like, it's kind of like some of this podcast. Like I have some ideas, and you're like, how about this instead?
Yeah.
You redirect me, and I'm like, oh, that is a good idea. Different people work better with others, and we need them.
Yeah. And in the case of this film specifically, Robert Eggers needed to be reined in that part, because if he was allowed to include what A24 said he couldn't have, this film would have been almost impossible to watch.
Yeah, it would be really hard.
Like, there's scenes that are weird enough, but if you saw more of what was going on in those scenes, like I'm sure Eggers wanted people to, oh my God, this would have been a hard watch.
Yep, in more ways than one. Sorry, I just had to say it. Okay, next, in 2012, Robert